This isn't the type of video I ever planned on making, but after what's been happening recently, I just couldn't ignore it more. So we have to talk openly about this. We have to talk about safety in the sports card space. Recently, a collector was robbed at gunpoint in the parking lot of a show that I frequent all the time. Very sobering news. It hit close to home. I got tons of messages from friends, from family, from people in the hobby, making sure I was okay, making sure I was protecting myself. And I thought this was a time where I should talk about to you guys, to people who watch this channel, to people who follow what I do, how I protect myself, how I stay safe in this hobby, and how you should too. So let's jump into it. Number one, I never carry cash in public. Everybody that knows me knows that when I do deals in public and you see these parking lot cash outs and you see us meeting at Starbucks's, I make it very clear. Everything is digital. Everything is prearranged. The numbers that we are talking about are all arranged beforehand. So we're not going to be sitting at a coffee table in the public. Even if it's digital, we have hundreds of dollars of cards exchanging back and forth. We're competent, all that. All that's done beforehand. Everything's digital. Everything's prearranged. On the rare occasion that I have, actually, I can't even think of a time that I've dealt with someone that I even know and has been in cash. On the rare occasion, if I ever decide to do a deal, a cash deal in public with someone that I know, we're meeting at a bank. No negotiations, no nothing. We're meeting at a bank, plenty of security. There's security cameras. If you're foolish enough to try something in the lobby of a bank, hey, more power to you. Number two, and this is probably the most important out of all of them, I'm always watching for who's watching me. Every time I'm at these shows, whether I'm at a vendor table or I'm walking around, I'm always looking around. I say I'm like Messi in the midfield. Who's upfield? Who's downfield? Who's watching me a little too long? The thing about these thieves and the people that want to take advantage of you, they're fidgety. Something is always off. They're up to something. They're not that cold-blooded. They're not that stone cold. You can just sense when someone is up to something. So I'm always watching for who's watching me. This goes for whether I'm out in public, whether I'm at a card show, and especially if I'm out in public in a parking lot. You ask the guys who've done a lot of deals with me, they see I'm always scanning around. I'm always looking around. I'm seeing for what car's pulling up, who's looking a little too long, who's lingering a little too long, who's standing there but not really doing anything. These are the things you have to watch out for, whether you're at a show or whether you're out in public. Just always be hyper aware. And number three, parking lot deals. I do them, but you see, and I mentioned it already, it's always with people that I trust. It's always with people that I vetted. And if I don't know you, no disrespect to you, it's just business. It's just safety. We're meeting at a bank where there's security, where there's people, where there's security guards, where there's cameras. The thing of it is, if you suggest doing that deal at a bank in a place that's secure like that, anybody that's legit, they'll say, sure, let's do it. I'd welcome that. I'll meet you there. The people that are not, it's just an easy way to weed them out, to take them out of the equation. So if I don't know you and we're doing a first time deal, we're meeting at a bank. And number four, for anything valuable, there's a lot of services out there. Vault services, you can do your research. They have PSA, they have eBay, they have Fanatics Collect. They have so many others where you can store your high value items in a vault, out of state, out of your home, out of your possession, and they're fully insured there. I don't recommend one over the other. I'm not here for that. Do your research. That's a good way to keep that out of sight, out of mind. You guys let me know what you think. I've heard people of using safety deposit boxes at banks, but I also hear that safety deposit boxes are not insured. So that's always kind of detracted me from using that option. Let me know what you guys think. If you use safety deposit boxes, what are the pluses? What are the minuses? Share with the community. And the next one is exit strategy. I've had situations where maybe something feels a little off. Maybe you don't want to risk it. Maybe that long 200-yard walk to the car in the parking lot is a little too far. And if something feels off, I have my wife or my friends bring the car around, bring it up to the front, and we'll load it up right there. Just an extra step of safety to make sure you're watching out for any situation where you feel like you could be vulnerable, where you feel like you could have a target on your back, and just find ways to mitigate that and have a safeguard against that. And another thing too, I've left the bank, I've left the shows, and I've taken, even if I didn't feel anything was off, I've taken the long way home. I've taken some weird ways home to see if someone is really following you, because I've heard stories about people getting followed from their show to the place where they're eating and getting robbed while they go in there to get something to eat. So I've had those situations happen, and it seems maybe a little bit too paranoid, and maybe it's a little bit too much paranoia, but you know what? it's like old saying goes, it's better to be safe than sorry. And it's not paranoia, it's protocol. And the next thing, this is a big one that's been happening in the hobby. And again, I've had a lot of friends that work in law enforcement, and they tell me straight up, they're collectors too. And they're like, man, I can't believe some of these guys and these kids that just lay out cash on the table for people to see. And it's just inviting you and whoever's doing the deal with you. It's just putting a big target on your back. I'll never, again, you can probably count on one hand the amount of times you've ever seen me with cash at a show, at a table, spread out across my showcase. It just doesn't happen. It just invites too much bad karma, too many eyes, and have to be mindful. When you lay all that cash out, when you do that, it invites a whole bunch of unwanted attention. Maybe wanted attention, good for the clicks, good for the social, but a lot of unwanted attention as well too. I've had some experienced dealers who've been doing this 10 years, 20 years. They told me stories about when they do these big cash outs and they're at shows, they'll have the person who's selling the card, hey, come over this side of the table. We'll count this cash out right here out of everybody's sight so you can put it in your pocket and nobody's watching you with the cash in your pocket waiting to follow you to your car. So it's all about just being smart. I get the flash, I get the flex culture, I get trust me, I know better than anybody the content engagement that comes with these big numbers and seeing the cash that goes along with it. But after a certain point, especially now in this hot point in the hobby where everybody's paying attention, you have to be smart. You can't be too flashy. So this isn't about just being a card collector anymore or a card flipper anymore. It's about being a responsible one. If you're doing parking lot deals, if you're moving around 5-figure cards, if you're selling online or at shows in any capacity, you're in the game now, whether you like it or not. So we have to move like someone who operates in the game, and we have to move responsibly. Look, at the end of the day, we love this hobby. We love the nostalgia. We love the business, and it is a business, and bad actors do exist. So to everyone who reached out last week, I appreciate you. This video, it's not about fear. It's about preparation. Stay aware, move smart, and keep your circle tight. And the last tip, the last bonus tip that I wanted to mention, if you have a PO box, if you're mailing out items, cards, valuables, if you're receiving them, be sure to keep the words cards, collectibles, TCG, Pokemon. Keep those names, those words, anything that signifies that you're a business that deals in high value collectibles. Keep those names out of your shipping address. Ship from or ship to, because I've had situations before where someone will send me a card from blank, blank, blank sports cards. All of a sudden it shows up torn half open, retaped. Of course, the card is missing in there. That package is going to change hands so many times. You don't need anyone thinking about what's in there, what card is in here, what collectible is in here, what gold, what silver, what Pokemon is in here. So there's a reason why companies like StockX, I don't know, GOAT, whoever else is out there, they don't put StockX, they don't put GOAT on their ship to or ship from. It says something like shipping department. So that tip alone, keeping the word sports cards out of my business name from the ship from and ship to, has saved me untold thousands of dollars of potential theft. And I recommend right now, if you're not doing it, take those names out of your ship to and ship from. So I hope this helped. Drop a comment. Let everybody know how else you're staying safe. Any other tips you have, telling people how to move, how to protect themselves. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.